All right, so a lot of people are talking about the Antichrist as well as various events that are happening in recent times, and as well as all of the wars and just the uproar in the Middle East. And I want to talk a little bit about what this means because a lot of people still with their rapture rug, the hope that Christ is coming, next week, and the signs are just all there. They're talking about this being the near end. And so I want to counter sort of this argument. And right off the bat, I want to say, I don't know the date. I'm not here to tell you like, oh, God gave me the date and all of that stuff. But there are signs that you can understand to know when that is. And so one thing right off the bat that I want to say and reassure people is that, yes, there is the Antichrist in that in the end times, he will come in some bodily form or human form manifested, right? If you read Revelations and you study it, you would know that. But also that the spirit of the Antichrist is already roaming in the earth, the Bible says. And I hold this view. Again, I don't want to say it's unpopular, but it's a hot take that it's going to be a very long time, maybe even a few hundred years before the return of Christ. And before that, there's going to be a season for which there is the kingdom age, right? And which is that a lot of people will be saved. There will be, there's still sin and chaos and things like that, but there will be some resemblance of a kingdom of heaven on earth. And so because of this, that means that yes, you have people, getting ready and pointing fingers, thinking that certain things will happen, and this is the sign of the end, but it is not yet. And so talking about Matthew and wars, rumors of wars and things like that. But one thing that's interesting that I want to talk about very quickly is that a lot of people are interpreting this cicada event, right, that's coming. So if you haven't heard, basically every 13 or 17 years, and actually every 13 years and 17 years, a certain set or type of cicada is going to come, and there will be, some people say trillions coming. So this is according to just a lot of the news out there. And because this is happening this April, a lot of people are misinterpreting, right? And so I'm going to just put some of this up. A lot of people are misinterpreting this as being certain end times type of thing. So 1 trillion bugs, right, this year. And people think this is like, some people think this is like the locust, the fifth trumpet in Revelation 9, as well as Revelation 16, the first bowl possibly, which is that the locust will come from the abyss and that there's going to be tormenting sting and all this stuff. And it relates to the people that do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. And it's a time of before the Antichrist comes into the scene, as well as the painful sores on the people. This is referring to the first bowl in Revelation 16, who have the mark of the beast and who worship its image. And so all of this stuff, and again, I'm not going to get into a deep eschatology lecture here, but all of this stuff, again, is a lot of just thinking, and I want to say even misinterpretation of certain things that we see in our modern time with biblical interpretation of certain things that will, if you believe the Bible, like I believe the Bible, and that it will come to pass, that this will happen, but not in the way that a lot of people think. And so this is one example, right? A lot of people talking about this, among others, right? And as well as the Middle East stuff, a lot of the wars and just, the temple, the second temple, Jerusalem, and just various things, right, happening, that this is kind of teeing it up for World War III. So I'm, again, of the position that there's not going to be like a full-blown World War III in our lifetime. There's going to be tribulation, obviously, the 7-year tribulation and all that stuff later on, but this is not happening right now. And so a lot of people, again, are just taking, bits and pieces, putting it together and thinking that this is what we are going to face going into the near future. And so, again, the cicada thing, right, is one small example. I'm not here to try to overemphasize it, but there's a lot of chatter about this because basically every 13 years and every 17 years, a ton of these cicadas come. And this is specifically just, I think, for the US area, possibly some Canada, where the 13 and the 17 coincidentally right, overlap. And then we're just going to have a double amount of cicadas. So this is just one way that people are looking at things like locusts and other stuff. But I believe that is not what it is. And so it's very easy to take events that are happening right now and then just kind of retroactively or just take that and interpret it as being some huge biblical event, like one of the bowls or one of the, trumpets or something like that. So I wanted to just say that not only as a reassurance, but not to downplay the idea and the importance of praying, fighting against, and being aware of the Antichrist spirit that is at hand now. So just want to give you guys this quick encouraging word regarding this, but a lot of chatter about this. But it's also good because people are learning, they're growing, and they're wrestling with it. So if you don't have some kind of ability, right, to make hypotheses, a thesis, an antithesis, right, and then you're kind of like going at it, and to make sure that you are kind of covering all boundaries or all every single part that you can to make your conclusion, then you're not going to grow to the next level. So this is what's happening for a lot of us. So wanted to talk about that just briefly, as a lot of us are sort of kind of, concerned or worried about all of the news going on. So love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.